Hey guys, my name is David and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do a different type of video. This is going to be more of a discussion video, and if you have clicked on this video you know what I'm going to be talking about. But before I get into that, I just want to do something a little bit extra. I got some books in the mail. So I thought it would be a nice thing to open these on camera, and I don't know, maybe you guys would find this interesting in some shape or form. So yeah, let's just open the big one first and I'll show you what I've got. I know exactly what this is. So this is what I bought off of eBay, and this is a Neil Gaiman book, and this one is called The View from the Cheap Seats. I got this one because I just recently, or fairly recently, finished the Graveyard book by Neil, and I was so impressed by that book. I found this one, it's a hardback, it is secondhand. I know that this isn't a storybook, this is a non-fiction book with some essays in it that focus on film, literature, music, authors and all that type of stuff. Not sure what to expect, but because I found it and it was a hardback, I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. And plus, I wasn't anticipating at all to pay as much as I did for it. It wasn't a lot, but because it's a hardback, I thought, okay, I'll pay a little bit extra for it. But yeah, I will probably gradually finish this one or go through this one slowly but surely. But yeah, let me know if you've read this. Let me know if you've let me know if it's any good or not. So let's get to what CriminOlly has sent me. As I said, I have no idea what's in this. All I do know that's in this is a couple of bookmarks that are branded from his channel, which, let's be honest, is probably going to be incredible. But with the book, I have no idea what it is. Even CriminOlly didn't know exactly what books he was giving away. Well, I think he did, but he forgot what packages were what. And these books were specifically for his event that he's doing for August, which is called GarbAugust. Hopefully, I've said it right. Where throughout August, you only have to read, trashy books. So let's see what one I have. Tiresome of Gore. I think this is the trashy fantasy book that he was on about. So I have no idea what to make of this. This is written by someone called John Norman. So that's the cover. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that the Gore books are a series. But yeah, not sure what to make of it. But I did say that I would make whatever he sent me a priority. I know that in August I am doing an event which is called Subscriber Month, which throughout August I'm only going to be reading what my subscribers have suggested to me. I will have a link down below. I've left it open until the end of July, so if you want to make any recommendations, please watch that video and comment in that video. And yeah, but I said to him that no matter what he sent me, I would make it a priority. And of course he sent me 2 of his bookmarks, which is CriminOlly. Not sure what the barcode means or does, but it says made me read it. So CriminOlly made me read it. And on the back it says GarbAugust. So yeah, be keeping them. And also, no matter what I think of this, I will be holding on to it because he sent me it and I don't want to give it away. So I'm stuck with this book forever. So hopefully that section of the video wasn't as long as I thought it was. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of this video and the whole point of what this video is all about. And I just want to talk about my pet peeves, the things that annoy me as a reader. I got this idea from a thumbnail that I saw from Reading This Life, from MJ from Reading This Life. I haven't watched it yet, apologies for that, but I will. But that gave me an idea for this video. So this is just going to be a casual discussion about the things that kind of annoy me as a reader in my day-to-day life. There isn't many things that annoy me. I'm a very laid back and relaxed individual, and there isn't many things that irritate me. So let's get to the things that do irritate me as a reader. The first one is probably when books have on the cover, it has a title and the author's name, but on the cover it says the novel. And I'm like, why? I already know it's a book. You don't have to write the novel on the cover. It's just a waste of space, and it's just stating the obvious. I know it's a novel. It's not like a bunch of bananas or something like that. You don't, it's like the same thing, like you don't go into a supermarket and you pick up an apple or a banana or an orange and it has the word fruit written on it. We know what it is. You don't have to say it's a novel. But again, that's a little thing that I'm like nitpicking, all that stuff. Another thing that I get irritated about is that this kind of unspoken conversation that people that are reading books out and about, specifically on public transport, like buses and trains and all that type of stuff, whenever we are sitting in our own seats, in our own space, in our own world, reading a book, no matter what it is, and this is a physical book as well, no matter if we mean to do it or not, we casually look at the book cover, or at least try to see the book cover to see what this person that doesn't know us and we don't know them, what this complete stranger is reading, just out of curiosity. And people kind of judge the individual based on the book that they want to read. And this is primarily on graphic novels. Recently, I just finished the graphic novel called Mouse, which is not a children's graphic novel. And yes, I know it's considered a comic book, even though it's a graphic novel, but it isn't a children's book. In fact, I wouldn't even recommend any child to actually read it, because it deals with the Holocaust and Nazis and racism and extreme violence. And with all that said, even if a child did read it, they would probably be bored with it anyway. But when I was sitting on the train reading it, no one said anything, but I just sensed that kind of judgmental thing from other readers around me, thinking, why are you reading a graphic novel? It's not considered reading. Why didn't you read a proper book? Any book? Graphic novels aren't reading, you're kind of cheating. Or graphic novels are mostly for children, why don't you grow up and read something more mature? And that leaves me with the fact that I want to read whatever I want to read, whether despite what other people think. If I want to read a graphic novel or a manga or a horror book or a romance book or any type of book, no matter what the title is or how unusual it sounds or how outrageous the cover is, if I want to read something and I'm getting enjoyment out of it, then it shouldn't really matter what other people think. But that's the kind of thing that I am more aware of. People don't say anything, as I said, but you can sense when other readers are judging what you're reading. Another pet peeve of mine, and this is kind of my own personal preference, but I can read in any situation, no matter how noisy it is. But there is one situation and noise which I cannot read in, and that is when I'm in a public area or a park or even on a train and a big group of small children come onto the bus or the train in like a school trip thing and start talking and screaming and all that type of stuff. I think it's the high pitch of their voice that takes me out of the book, like takes my conscious and rips it out of the book into the real world and like disconnects me from what I'm reading. That's probably the best way that I can describe it. Even though I work in retail and kids are a massive hindrance and annoyance, I don't mind small children. I really don't mind them. And I know that they have to use public transport as well as um, yeah, on school trips as well. But it's just a situation I cannot read in. Also, while I've been thinking about that, I've come up with another situation where this has happened before. Every time I go into my public library, my local public library, that is about 10 minutes walk from my house, I cannot read in there for a long period of time. And that is primarily because the kids section of that library is used as a day nursery. They are always singing nursery rhymes in there. The adults and the children, they're always making loud noises. They're always singing rhymes and talking all the time, both adults and children. And I'm sitting there thinking, aren't people supposed to be quiet in this building, in this situation? Aren't you supposed to be quiet in a library? And it just leaves me with the question, why couldn't they just hire out a room for the day or the afternoon or the morning or whatever for an hour or two just to do what they need to do? I know that they are doing this to like keep little babies occupied and all that type of stuff, and that's fine. But I'm like, why couldn't you go to a more appropriate venue? Another pet peeve of mine is that when I'm on public transport, yet again, I do a lot of my reading on public transport, especially when I'm going to work. When people are listening to music really loudly, they have their headphones on or their earpods on. It's kind of good now because the quality that people are buying is better and it like suppresses the noise. But for those other people, they turn up the volume really loudly. Now, there are certain music that I can put up with while I'm reading a book. Primarily if it's instrumental and it's not an irritating beat or rhythm or tune or whatever, then I can read my book. Even if the person's sitting right next to me, I can mostly concentrate on what I'm reading. It may take me out of the book every now and then, but most of the time I can put up with it. But what I cannot put up with is when people are being selfish and only thinking of themselves on public transports, and they either have their music on so loud that you can hear it, or they have like I wouldn't say a boom box, but a speaker that is like blasting out all this music in a train or in a public area, whether it's in a train or a bus or a park, and you're sitting there reading and you're like, why are these people so selfish? Why do I have to put up with and be subjected to their quote horrible taste in music? And why can't they just respect, like, this is a public area and people may come to a park just to be in the quiet setting in a peaceful environment? I can put up with some vocal songs, but most of the time, about 90% of the time, if the song has lyrics in it, no matter what the genre is, then I cannot read the book. I may force myself and try to um, plow through it. It will be a struggle for me to do that. And I suppose the last thing that I want to mention is that why is horror looked down upon as a genre? I'm not sure if this is something that I have only noticed, but all the bookshops that I go into, all the new bookshops, all the ones that sell brand new books, why is it that all the horror books are put in a corner and out of the way? And why are horror sections like dramatically cut down? Like the one in the mall where I work, it used to be like these two shelves of horror books, but then they moved it to a further away corner of the shop and they reduced it to just one shelf. I think this goes back to what I said about reading graphic novels on the train, is that, like, yeah, why is horror looked down upon? I know that a lot of horror books now have these movies that are based on them, and I know that horror movies, well, for me anyway, are a lot of the time hit and misses with a lot of jump scares and a lot of characters that you don't care about. But horror novels go beyond that. They don't have any of that, and it's just what I am interested in reading. I don't know, guys. I don't know what I'm going on about. I don't know if I'm explaining myself properly. I just wanted to do this video to have something different to have on my channel apart from reviews and all that type of stuff. So yeah, but let me know if you've been entertained by this. Let me know if you relate to any of these situations. Let me know what your pet peeves are with being a reader. That's all I had to really cover. I didn't really have a plan for this video at all, so hopefully it hasn't gone on for too long. So with all that out of the way, all said and done, have a great day, read some awesome books, and I will see you all in my next video.